aren't. I don't believe in that. I believe that we all can become great leaders. We can learn how to become great leaders. Doesn't matter what your background is, where you came from, what language you speak, what your education is, what your experience has been. It doesn't matter any of that. If you have the desire to be a great leader, if you have a desire to help others and you want to truly see them improve their lives, we all can become great leaders. Now, many of you have done that. That's why you're sitting here in this room. Because you didn't do it all yourselves, right? You didn't go out and sell all the product yourselves. That puts you in the seat today, right? You helped many people do a little bit, and that helped you get here today, right? That's being a great leader. So how do we continue to be motivated to become a great leader? Who's been in Forever the longest? Is it Desmond? Well, I mean, you know. How long have you been in Forever, Desmond?
29 years.
29 years. Anyone more than 29 years? Okay, Desmond, he wins. Desmond and Grace, 29 years in Forever. Desmond, I would have to say you gotta be one of the greatest leaders here in Forever in Malaysia. Yeah? 29 years long. What keeps you motivated? When you get up in the morning, this morning, what motivates you to keep going?
I think most importantly is our mission. Our mission to give people more help, more wealth, and more freedom. Yeah.
And what does that give you? What does that mean to you personally?
It's happy.
Makes you happy?
Yes.
Makes you feel better about yourself?
Yes.
That you're contributing?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I agree. And that's what motivates you, right?
Yes.
To go out and share forevermore.
Yes.
So I want you to, thank you, Desmond. I want you to think about what motivates you, what gets you excited. And so just bear with me here a moment, and I want you to close your eyes. Okay, and just relax, take a deep breath. Okay, let it all out and close your eyes. And I want you to think back to when you were a small child. You know, it could be when you were 5, 10 years old. Think back. Can you see yourself? Can you see where you were and who you were? But most importantly, can you remember who you wanted to become when you grow up? When an adult came, when grandma came and said to you, what are you going to do when you grow up? Do you remember what that answer is? Can you see yourself telling grandma, I want to be whatever it is. I want to do this in the world. Do you guys, can you remember that? Open your eyes now. Can you remember who you wanted to be when you were a young child? Does anyone want to share with us who you wanted to be when you were a child? Come on, we're all friends. Do we have a microphone? Tell us, who did you want to become when you were a child?
I want to be pilot.
A pilot. So when you were a child, did you dream about sitting there in the cockpit and
Yes.
the airplane going up in the sky?
Always look at the sky.
And how did that make you feel as a child?
During my childhood, I'm very happy.
Were you excited when you looked up and saw an
Yes.
airplane fly over?
Yes, yes.
Are you a pilot today?
One time in Forever, I be a pilot with the competition. Yeah.
You've actually flew a plane.
Yes.
Wow.
With Forever.
And how did that make you feel?
Feeling very good, excited, and even my email I put I know pilot. Even though I not become a real pilot, but I know one day I become a pilot. But only just one day. Live forever.
I love it. Awesome. Good job, man. That's awesome. Anyone else remember what they wanted to do when they were young? That's so cool that you got to achieve that. Even one day. That's okay. Right next to her.
My biggest dream when I was small, I want to be national netball player.
A national, what is it?
National netball players.
Netball?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's a sport.
So tell me about when you were young and you were dreaming of, what was your dreams about that?
So I used to be, and at school I entered sports schools, but something happened that my family got financial problems, so I have to move out schools. And then starting from that, I'm telling myself, I must help more people, because what happened to my dad, he got scammed when he already retired. So starting from that, I'm telling myself, I don't want to go to any university, because that time my father, he really struggled to support my sister. So I'm telling myself, one day I will be the first millionaire in the family.
Wow. That is awesome. I love it. Do you get chills hearing that? I got goosebumps. That is so cool. So I'd love to ask each and every one of you, but Loy's over here kicking my butt to finish. But I want you to feel the goosebumps when you hear someone with their dreams as a childhood and they're carrying out those dreams today. Now for you, I want you to think about maybe why you didn't achieve that childhood dream. You know, we go through life, you know, just as she said, the family had challenges, we had to move, you know, circumstances change, right? It happens to all of us, and as kids, we kind of maybe lose sight of that childhood dream, and maybe someone along the way told us we couldn't do it. That was unrealistic. Come on, you got to go to school, you got to get an education, you got to get a good job, right? Provide for your family, right? Be stable. And we kind of lose sight of that dream and that motivation that we had inside of us. So I want you to think about that today as you're sitting here in the Success Day. What was my childhood dream? What excited me? What did I get passionate about when I was a child? And have you accomplished that? Have you achieved it? Because if you haven't, I want you to go back to that. You know? For example, even though you flew for one day, why not go back and get your pilot's license? You're your own boss. You can choose what you want to do, right? Why not? Now, maybe you can't play, what is it, netball? Maybe you can't play netball like you did when you were young, but what about starting a netball team in your community? Maybe get involved in some kind of a league and help create more teams for kids, right? That's her passion, and that would get her excited in the morning to say, hey, I gotta go increase my forever business so I can help my netball team. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Because to become the greatest leader of all time, you gotta know yourself inside. Aiden said introspection. You gotta know who you are and what you want. It's not enough just to say, I want to make more money, I want to drive a nice car. All that goes away someday. That doesn't help with your long-term motivation. And I'm going to leave you with this. I want you to think about pain versus pleasure.
Pain?
That is your motivation factors of what you're going to do every single day. Does it bring me pain or does it bring me pleasure? Pain. You know pain? Like, ouch. oh, that hurts, right? If something is going to hurt you, what do? Do you go towards it? If Jackie's if he comes and says, I'm going to kick your butt, I'm going to hit you in the face, am I going to go close to him and get closer? No. I don't want to feel the pain of him hitting me, so I'm going to back up, right? So if it's painful to sponsor people, are you going to get closer? Are you going to go, yeah, I'm going to go recruit because it's painful and I love pain? Is that how it works? No. So if you are in a mindset of, God, I hate sponsoring people. I hate going out and talking to people. I hate doing OPPs. It hurts. Are you going to do it?
No.
Do you understand? So how are you going to change that? Because you can't get around the fact that you have to sponsor new people in your business in order to grow. If you want to be the best leader ever, you have to keep sponsoring people. Honami sponsors more people than all of Malaysia. One person sponsors more than all of you in a year. Why? Because it's pleasure to her. Because she loves it. Because she gets motivated by it and gets excited. So you got to change your mindset. You got to understand, hey, it can't be painful to me anymore. I have to find a way that it's I can't tell you what that is. That's you looking inside, saying, how do I change that? Part of that is knowing what you want to achieve. Because if you want to achieve something so bad, you'll overcome the pain of it. Do you understand that? You'll overcome the pain of it. So think about pain versus pleasure. If you're not doing the right habits, if you're not doing what you need to do every day consistently to be successful, it's because for some reason you're feeling pain and you avoid doing it. So how are you going to change that into its pleasure? For example, how many have ever wanted to lose weight before? Raise your hand if you want to lose weight. You looked in the mirror one day and you said, oh, I hate the way I look, right? We all go through it, right? So what happens to us when we want to lose weight? Maybe we see ourselves in the mirror. Maybe we don't have enough energy. Maybe we just feel fat, right? Maybe someone said to us, gosh, you look fat, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's painful. So you say, I don't want to feel that pain, so I'm going to lose some weight, right? And you start thinking about it, you get kind of excited, and you're like, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to eat better, right? And that all brings you pleasure because you're thinking about looking in the mirror like, woo, I'm looking good, right? That brings you pleasure. So you're excited. So day one, you get up, you go for a walk, right? You come home, you eat a nice healthy breakfast, right? And that first day, you're feeling really good about yourself. I accomplished, I'm doing good. And day two, what happens? Maybe it's still there, you're still, going. A little bit of a walk, but I'm tired now. I'm gonna go sit down and watch some TV a little bit. While I watch TV, I'm just gonna start eating some stuff here, right? And then day 3, day 4, and pretty soon it becomes painful again to get up and go for a walk, right? And you're really hungry all of a sudden, hunger pains, you're like, I gotta eat some more, right? And pretty soon you go right back to your old habits. Do you see how that works? And it becomes painful to be on that diet. And you've lost that pleasure feeling, so you're not going to be on your diet anymore. That's how life works with everything you do. Everything you psychologically do is either you avoid pain or you go for pleasure. So, look at your business. Is it recruiting that you're suffering from? Is it retention, right? Go back to the 4 core of the business. It's the basics of the business. What is it? I just said 2 of them. Recruitment, retention, productivity, and development, right? So which of those 4 areas, if you're not where you want to be in your business, which I think all of us are, am I right? Are we all sitting in a place we don't want to be right now? I hope you say yes. Desmond, are you sitting in a place you want to be? No. We all want to be better. We want to do better. I know I sat with some of you last night and said, I want to be a GLT member. I want to be there. Which areas of the 4 core are you suffering from? Maybe your recruitment's going fine, but maybe you're losing a lot of people that have been in your business for a while. Maybe they're not buying as much product as they used to. Productivity, right? Maybe you're not getting enough move-ups. People moving up in the marketing plan. Which of the 4 areas are you suffering from? And start focusing on improving those areas. Get better at what you do good, but also improve on those weak areas. And the way you do that is start thinking of, what kind of pleasure is this going to bring me if I recruit more people? What kind of pleasure am I going to feel when I help people buy more product and consume more aloe gel, right? How am I going to feel when I'm sitting at the success day, and I hope some of you feel this today, when I see my downline on stage being recognized as a new manager? What kind of pleasure is that going to bring me? I'm going to feel great. I'm going to feel on top of the world. So I'm going to help that person. I'm going to go through all the challenges and hard times with that person to make sure they're up on stage being recognized as manager, because that brings me one of the greatest pleasures I can ever feel. Do you understand?
Yes.
And when you balance that 4 core, when you get really good at improving the weak areas and strengthening the strong areas, guess what? Your business is going to go up. There is no doubt about it. Your business is going to increase. You're going to see more people joining. You're going to see more people leveling up. And you, one day, will level up and come to where? The Dominican Republic with us, right?
They will.
How was the Dominican at Level Up?
Great. Super great.
Just yell it out, man.
It's super great. Super great.
That's what we want for you guys. The pleasure of being at Level Up. The pleasure of being a GLT member. The pleasure you'll see when you've developed and become the greatest leader of all time. You all can do it. We love you. Let's go, Malaysia, Singapore!